year. Obviously with COVID, the numbers are going up a little bit, so we expected it to be kind of a smaller crowd, but this is great. Thank you all for coming. This is amazing. Unfortunately, James Giesler, our executive director, was unable to make it tonight. However, he did send me a little welcome remark, so I'm going to start with that. And then we will move on to Councilor Eglinton and the NAGLY board, and then we're going to give a little bit of a rundown of the programming and go from there. So, okay. Mayor Nicholson, Councilor Eglinton, how do you say it again, Coco? I always
Coco.
Coco, okay, perfect. Coco? Well, I want to dress you appropriately, so, friends of the Demakes Family YMCA, NAGLY board members, and all of our wonderful community partners, welcome. As Executive Director of the North Shore Alliance of Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, and Transgender Youth, it is my distinct honor to bring greetings to you and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here for this auspicious occasion. He uses big words all the time and I can't stand it. I only regret that I cannot be with you today in person. Many months ago, when COVID seemed to be waning, I scheduled some travel out of the country for next week. In order to travel, of course, I had to test negative. Therefore, out of an abundance of caution, I made the decision to limit my in-person meetings and events until after my return. Please know that my absence is in no way reflects on my personal commitment to this project and to our satellite programming in the city of Lynn. It has long been NAGLY's desire and intent to bring programming into the Lynn community, and we look forward to partnering with the staff here at the Demakes Family YMCA to provide support and resources to NAGLY's LGBTQ plus youth. Personally, I'm inundated at Coco's for the wonderful foundation he built at NAGLY when he serves as the executive director of the organization. Without his immense talent and formidable skills, and those of his successor, Steve Harrington, NAGLY would not be where it is today. So my hat is off to Coco and Steve and the scores of volunteers who have made NAGLY a strong advocate for LGBTQ plus youth and have enabled us to reach this today. We look forward to a long and fruitful collaboration with the Demakes Family YMCA and the greater Lynn community to assure that no LGBTQ plus young person ever has to go it alone, as they grow into the authentic person they know themselves to be. Congratulations to all and who had a hand in making this day possible, and a heartfelt gratitude for your commitment to making the world a more welcome place. So that was from James Giesler, our Executive Director. Next up, we're going to do a little bit of NAGLY history and explain what the start of NAGLY was. So I'm going to welcome up City Councilor Coco, former Executive Director of NAGLY, and both representatives of the board, our board president, Kirsten Frenny, and our treasurer, Peter Conrad.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So, first I would like to acknowledge the presence of Lynn School Committee member Lennon Pena.
Yes.
Let's give Lennon a round of applause.
Congratulations.
I told Lennon you need to show up here because you will be NAGLY's voice to the school committee because he's been championing people and youth for the longest period of time. So I'm glad that he's one of the new face of Lynn politics. So I remember 500 years ago, just kidding, I became NAGLY Executive Director 15 years ago. And I remember Sunil and I would been walking downtown Lynn. We don't know anybody, Mayor. We've been talking with politicians at the time, and we didn't get any support at all because our goal at the time is to move NAGLY from Salem to Lynn, because 60 to 70% of our members are from Lynn. 60 to 70% of our board members are from Lynn. And I still remember some of our kids from Lynn who are not comfortable going to the Y or to the Boys and Girls Club or to the Girls Inc. because they want to hang out to a venue where they could hang out with fellow LGBT youth. We'll have to take a bus. Sometimes some of them will ride their bikes or walk all the way to Salem just to attend a NAGLY meeting. So during those times, being LGBT, it's not like, you go to a basement of a church where no one knows that we're all there because we're providing a safe space for kids. Now, I'm so happy with equality and Defense of Marriage Act. Everybody is kind of cool to be gay. Like everybody's accepting it. And I'm so glad that the Y is opening its doors to NAGLY. I parked my cars there, and the moment I saw it, the rainbow colors, and I was just staring at it. And I said, oh my gosh, I still remember we have to hide these flags in the old days because people will bully our kids, But for us to flaunt this here, it's just a different generation. And I'm glad that the mayor is here to really support this endeavor, because it brings NAGLY to Lynn. And you know, it's nice to see that members of the LGBTQ community in Lynn have a space of their own, at least once a month. But we were talking about doing, opening these activities. So I don't want to talk more, because I would like to invite Felix, that I asked Felix if he could say one minute about. Felix is a NAGLY youth who is from Ward 3 and been also involved with NAGLY. So let's give Felix a round of applause.
So just
Yeah, just say your experience about NAGLY.
so I went to NAGLY when I was in like 7th grade. I was just like coming to terms with my gender identity, my sexuality, and I think if I didn't go to NAGLY, I would be completely lost. I wouldn't have had the support that I needed. And like I was actually just having a conversation about this with one of my friends from middle school that I met at NAGLY yesterday, and we were talking about how we wouldn't be where we are today without the support of NAGLY and without like having that network of people to talk to. Like we wouldn't have met each other, and that like it's so important to have that as like a queer kid. And I think it's really important that NAGLY is here in Lynn, because there's so many queer kids here. And it's just necessary, and I'm glad to see it now. I really am. So yeah.
Thank you, Felix. I'm done.
You really done? Well, I just want to chime in about being a president for NAGLY, because it's because of Coco that I have been a part of this amazing organization for the last 15 years. When Coco and I, when he called me up to ask me to come and speak on a career night, he said that he was so thrilled about this small group of young kids that were just powerful and impactful. And when Coco came on board, along with myself, Sunil, and there were a few more of us that saw the vision as marriage equality was just becoming the forefront, that we put together an outreach team. And we started with 12 youth in a small little room. And within 1 year, we ended up having upwards between 60 to 100 youth per week. And it just blew open. So to be able, as Coco said, most of our youth came from Lynn, and they did everything they could to get there, from trains, buses, rides, and to be able to partner right now with the YMCA is really such a gift, because we now have a place where they don't have to worry about traveling. And we have a new administration that is so supportive. I mean, in the past administrations have been amazing, but to have the newness of this great administration, we're so thrilled to partner. And I know that the youth are going to be so much better for it, and they're going to have a lot more opportunities and access to programming. I'll pass it on to Peter.
All right. So about not quite 4 years ago, Kirsten, who had been nagging me for several years about getting on the board, finally convinced me that I was ready to do that. So, so it's just been great being involved with NAGLY since that time, other than going to a fundraiser or things like that I used to do. But just the feeling how uplifting this is for queer youth is unbelievable. I was in an event early this fall where we had a dance event, social event for the youth, and I just left there thinking, oh my God, I can't believe there are all these happy kids. And then I thought, they're all happy queer kids. This is fantastic. And you know, growing up in a whole different age as when I was a gay youth, you not only hid in the basement, you really were in the closet because nobody knew. So our goal, we've been talking, since I've been on the board, we've been talking about trying to get re-engaged with Lynn and really to sort of move some of the programming to where people are instead of having them necessarily come to us. So we want to be there and have them be able to take advantage of that, and also be able to take advantage rather than just be a support group, but to have access to all the programs that NAGLY offers in Salem. And you know, we can figure out ways to make that more accessible. But, you know, to have this here, to have people to be able to come somewhere they can get to easily, and then have access to the staff. Tony has been fantastic.
No words.
He's been around for a number of years, but became our program director recently. James Giesler, who's our new ED, has been great, and we're really excited that we now have, as I think Tony mentioned in his reading of Steve's, James's comments, is that we now have not only the NAGLY Center in Salem, we have, you know, this group in Lynn, we have a group in Gloucester, and a group in Newburyport. So we're trying to get out to communities that bring in a wider scope of youth, and we're really just excited to be here.
And the real exciting thing that I don't want to let go by is NAGLY actually celebrates our 30th anniversary this year. And of course, I'm going to plug it. Thank you. It's been an amazing ride. As I said, Coco and I have been part of it for over 15 years now. And please keep your eyes open. We're actually kicking off our first event in February at Rockefeller's up in Colonial Hall. Suede, who is a phenomenal, she's a jazz performer, so we're going to have our first event, which is going to be February 12th. If you're interested in wanting to support so that we can continue to do this amazing work that we do, please go to nagly.org and see who we are, what we offer, and we're just thrilled to be here, and we're so grateful for all of the support that we're getting from the school committee and from the amazing new mayor. And with that, love to bring back Tony so that he can give a little bit more information.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
We should also just thank Tony for all the work he's put into this over the last couple of years, all through COVID, trying to reach out to a lot of the school communities, but particularly to try to get this going, this program.
He truly is, and I say it all the time, this is an incredible young man who is the blood and backbone of being able to elevate NAGLY to come to where we are today. So
Well, thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate it. So I'm going to give a little bit of just a program update of what this is going to look like for the Lynn community and for the YMCA as well. I just kind of wanted to start by welcoming everyone to the official NAGLY at Lynn kickoff. As Coco, Peter, and Kirsten discussed earlier, NAGLY has been in existence for 30 years with the growth and development of NAGLY, and now it's 3 satellites, Saga and Gloucester, which was formed in 2018. NAGLY North in Newburyport, which officially kicked off in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic, and now here in Lynn in 2022. I wanted to start by thanking all of who have come out tonight in celebration of this expansion. Mayor Nicholson, Councilor Coco, the Demakes Family YMCA, Andrea especially, thank you so much. Just some notes that I kind of wanted to start and kind of go on to some concerning stats just to really bring out why this is so needed. So in 2021, from the Trevor Project annual survey of 35,000 respondents, 42% seriously considered attempting suicide in the last 12 months. Among transgender non-binary students, that number increased to 52%. 48% wanted counseling from mental health professionals. However, with the current mental health crisis, the wait lists are exorbitant. Lastly, 1 in 3 LGBTQ+ youth found their homes to be less than LGBTQ+ affirming. So I just want to take a pause and really kind of let that soak in. Now, this is why it's so crucial. We provide the much needed support that youth need and want. This program will consist of monthly meetings to start for 3 hours on the first Thursday of each month here in this room. Hopefully then moving to bi-weekly and eventually weekly as time goes on. The meeting will be divided into 2 groups, one being ages 13 to 18, which will be on one side of the room, working on a variety of different activities, workshops, and educational topics, with added fun activities, of course. The second group will be on the other side of the room, which is going to be called Queer Adulting. That's going to be from ages 18 to 23, working on a variety of different life skills, daily tasks, activities of daily living, workshops, and having professionals come in to teach some other workshops as well. With this expansion, we hope to continue to build and develop ongoing and new relationships with the Lynn community. Looking out in the audience here tonight, I see already have strong ties, which is amazing. With this program, our hope is to continue to honor, respect, educate, and empower all LGBTQ+ youth. within the North Shore and beyond. So thank you. So with that, I am honored to invite newly elected Mayor Jared Nicholson.
Thank you all so much for having me. I want to thank NAGLY for including me in this event and for being here. Thank you to the YMCA and Andrea for hosting us, for hosting NAGLY. It's really exciting to be able to share this moment with you. Thank you, Councilor Coco Allensug, for your leadership, and for your years and years of service in this work. I think that the current NAGLY team knows, I'm sure, that they have really big shoes to fill with Coco and Steve Harrington, who's done amazing work over the years here. And it's so exciting to see this physical presence in Lynn. Community is about your relationships with people, and NAGLY has created a real powerful community in Lynn through its work and its relationships with students, with the peer-to-peer work which has been done, which is amazing, the adults who are involved in advising, and while relationships don't necessarily need a physical space, having one allows those relationships to flourish. You get those chance interactions that you may not be able to predict. You get that feeling of home and belonging, and physical spaces are important even in the digital age. And you have new modern problems, but those age-old longings for community that physical spaces allow people to come together and find their community. And we know that our LGBTQ plus youth need that community. And particularly, we have a lot of youth struggling with mental health, and as you just heard, that population disproportionately has those needs, and creating these opportunities for community is an important way to address that. Everyone in the city deserves that community, and the work that NAGLY does to create a place where people feel safe, where people feel seen, where people feel heard is so important. And I think it's so amazing that we have a great partner. The city has a great partner in the YMCA that's part of that effort in opening their doors to create this space, and that we have the decades of work from the NAGLY team that can step right in and have that community ready to go and ready to flourish and grow with all of us working together. Because I think we recognize now that Lynn has a lot going for it. We have a lot of work to do. And for us to make that potential really meaningful, we want to make sure everybody feels like they belong in that future. And LGBTQ plus youth are really an important part of that. And these displays, these events, those relationships that NAGLY helps create by bringing people together are a really important way to send that message. So thank you, NAGLY. Thank you to the YMCA, and thank you to really all the youth that are ultimately the driver of all this. The people that are able to recognize that there are these resources out there, these opportunities to connect, and powers these moments to say that we're reaching people, we're giving people that feeling of inclusivity and belonging. So congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. So next up, we're going to sign a pride flag. So this is going to be kind of some positive affirmations that we want to tell the youth. Again, this is going to be a monthly group, hopefully bi-weekly and maybe ending into weekly at some point. But this is going to be hung up at every single meeting here in the space. So whatever you want to write, feel free. There's Sharpies here. And then after that, please grab some food. We have plenty on the back table. So thank you all.